Working in the United States has changed millions of lives. For many families across Asia, a U.S. job means higher income, financial freedom, and a future with global opportunities. It means sending money home, building savings, and gaining international experience that can last a lifetime. But in 2026, that dream may be slipping away. Because under Donald Trump's immigration and labor policies, some Asian countries may face the toughest work restrictions the U.S. has ever seen. In today's video, we're breaking down 7 Asian countries that Trump may never allow to work in the United States again, and more importantly, why. This isn't just politics. This is about jobs, money, careers, and real people. We'll explain what changed, who is most affected, and what workers can do instead. So make sure you watch till the end. Country number 1 may surprise you. Welcome back to The Explorer Now. I'm your host Zinnia, and let's dive right in. Before we begin, comment below. Which country are you watching from right now? I read your comments, and I love seeing how global our community is. All right, let's start the countdown. Number 7, Vietnam. Vietnam has become one of Asia's fastest-growing labor exporters. Every year, thousands of Vietnamese workers apply for factory jobs, service sector roles, skilled labor programs, student-to-work pathways. For many, the U.S. represents financial stability far beyond what local wages can offer. So why is Vietnam now facing serious restrictions? Reason 1: trade and labor disputes. One of the biggest issues between the U.S. and Vietnam is labor protection. The U.S. government has repeatedly criticized Vietnam for weak worker rights, limited union protections, unfair wage practices, state-influenced industries. Under Trump's America First agenda, this matters a lot. His administration prefers countries that follow U.S.-approved labor standards, offer transparency in employment practices, protect workers in ways that match U.S. expectations. Vietnam, unfortunately, is seen as falling short. This creates hesitation when approving Vietnamese workers for U.S. jobs, especially in manufacturing and service industries. Reason 2: political alignment concerns. Another major factor is Vietnam's growing relationship with China. While Vietnam tries to balance diplomacy, Trump's administration views any strong China alignment as a red flag. From the U.S. perspective, China is a direct economic rival. Countries closely tied to China are seen as less trustworthy. Labor access becomes a political decision. Because of this, Vietnam is often categorized as high risk when it comes to long-term workforce integration. Real impact on workers. So what does this mean in real life? Vietnamese workers are now experiencing longer visa processing times, stricter background checks, more documentation requests, higher rejection rates. Even skilled professionals with clean records and strong qualifications are struggling. Students hoping to transition from study to work are facing delays, fewer sponsorships, sudden denials. And for families, this uncertainty makes long-term planning nearly impossible. 2026. Outlook for Vietnam. Vietnam is not fully banned yet, but in 2026, opportunities are fewer, rules are tougher, approvals are slower. For Vietnamese citizens hoping to build a long-term career in the U.S., the future is uncertain at best. Quick question for you. Would you still apply if approval chances were low but income was high? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's move on. Number 6, India. India has long been one of the largest contributors to the U.S. workforce, from IT specialists, software engineers, doctors and nurses, researchers and analysts. Indian professionals have played a huge role in the American economy. So why is India now on this list? Reason 1: H-1B crackdowns. Trump has always criticized the H-1B visa program. His argument: these jobs should go to Americans first. Under his policies, approval rates dropped, renewals became harder, employers faced more audits. Even highly skilled Indian professionals are now required to attend multiple interviews, submit extensive documentation, prove exceptional value. This slows everything down and increases denial risk. Reason 2. America First Employment Policy. Trump's focus is clear. Prioritize American citizens, reduce foreign competition, limit long-term immigration that makes foreign workers, even top talent, less welcome. Indian families planning relocation now face delays of years, visa uncertainty, children aging out of dependent status. Students and trainees hit hard. Indian students once relied on OPT programs, training extensions, employer sponsorship. Now, these pathways are shrinking. Many students graduate with U.S. degrees, job offers, but no work authorization. 2026. Outlook for India. India is not banned, but access is shrinking fast. In 2026, rejections are higher, processing is slower, long-term settlement is risky. Even one of the world's strongest talent pools is no longer guaranteed access. Number 5. Iran. When it comes to working in the United States, Iranian citizens face some of the strictest barriers in the world, and under Trump's policies in 2026, those barriers may become nearly impossible to cross. Reason 1. Political tension and sanctions. The biggest reason is long-standing political conflict. The U.S. and Iran have been in tension for decades due to nuclear program concerns, economic sanctions, regional conflicts, diplomatic breakdowns. Under Trump, these tensions intensified. His administration treats Iran as a high national security concern, and that directly affects employment visas. How this affects workers. Iranian applicants face mandatory additional security screenings, extended background investigations, multiple interviews, long administrative processing delays. Even professionals with advanced degrees, international experience, clean records often receive outright denials. Skilled versus unskilled, no difference. Unlike other countries, skill level does not guarantee approval. Doctors, engineers, researchers, and IT specialists are treated the same as unskilled applicants when it comes to security checks. This removes hope for many families who invested years into education expecting global opportunities. Travel bans and work restrictions. Trump-era travel bans linked to Iran still influence decisions in 2026. Even when bans are partially lifted, employment-based visas remain heavily restricted. That means no clear timelines, no transparency, no certainty. 2026 outlook for Iran in 2026. Working in the U.S. is extremely limited. Approval chances are very low. Long-term planning is almost impossible. Iranian workers are forced to look toward Europe, consider Canada or Australia, seek regional opportunities, build careers without U.S. access. For many, the American dream has become unreachable. Do you think politics should affect ordinary workers this much? Type yes or no in the comments. Let's move on. Number 4. Cuba. Cuba might surprise some people on this list, but when it comes to working in the U.S., Cuban citizens face unique and growing restrictions under Trump's policies. Reason 1. Political hostility. The U.S. has long opposed Cuba's government system. Under Trump, diplomatic ties were reduced. Economic pressure increased. Immigration pathways tightened. This directly impacts employment visas. Migration control strategy. Another major concern is migration history. The U.S. government believes too many Cubans overstay visas. Employment pathways can be abused. Labor migration could trigger mass movement. Because of this, Trump's administration limits work approvals to prevent new migration waves. Impact on Cuban professionals. Cuban workers applying for jobs in healthcare, technology, engineering, hospitality now face long processing delays, extra interviews, higher rejection rates. Students hoping to gain U.S. experience often wait years only to be denied. Families and career delays. Employment-based reunification is also affected. Families who planned to work, send money home, build stability. now face uncertainty and financial strain. 2026 Outlook for Cuba. In 2026, U.S. work access is very limited. Approvals are rare, delays are long. Cuban citizens must look to Latin America, consider Europe, build careers locally or remotely. U.S. employment is no longer a reliable option. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, like this video, subscribe to the Explorer, now turn on notifications. Policies change fast, and we keep you informed. Now let's continue. Number 3. Laos. Laos is often overlooked in global labor discussions, but in 2026, Laotian workers face some of the toughest barriers to U.S. employment. Reason 1. Weak labor agreements. The U.S. prioritizes countries with strong legal systems, clear labor laws, transparent employment records. Laos lacks strong bilateral labor agreements with the U.S. This makes approvals harder from the start. Limited workforce presence. Laotian workers in the U.S. are typically employed in agriculture, hospitality, service industries. These sectors are now under heavy restriction. Trump's policies require employers to prove no American can do the job, which is extremely difficult. Stricter employer burden. U.S. employers must now file more paperwork, pass audits, justify every foreign hire. Most employers simply choose not to sponsor Laotian workers anymore. Students and skilled workers also affected. Even educated applicants face extra screenings, longer waits, higher denial rates. Skill alone is no longer enough. 2026 Outlook for Laos. In 2026, U.S. work visas are extremely rare. Processing is slow, approvals are uncertain. Laotian citizens must explore regional jobs, build local careers, seek remote work, invest in skill development. The U.S. is no longer a realistic option for most. If you're from any of these countries, start building globally recognized skills. Explore remote work. Don't rely on one country for your future. Number 2, Myanmar. For workers from Myanmar, the path to working in the United States has never been easy, but in 2026, under Trump's policies, it may become nearly impossible. Reason 1, political instability. The most significant factor is political unrest. The U.S. government has repeatedly expressed concern over government legitimacy, military influence, civil instability, human rights violations. Under Trump, countries viewed as unstable are labeled high risk, especially when it comes to employment-based visas. Human rights concerns. Another major reason is the treatment of minority groups. Trump's administration uses human rights reports, international sanctions, security assessments to justify restricting access to U.S. employment programs. This directly affects ordinary workers who have no involvement in politics but are still punished by policy. Impact on skilled professionals. Myanmar professionals in healthcare, engineering, hospitality now face longer processing times, multiple interviews, heavy documentation requirements, frequent denials. Even highly educated applicants struggle to meet approval standards. Families and students affected. Families planning to relocate for better income now face high rejection rates, years of uncertainty, financial strain. Students hoping to study, train, transition to work find that most pathways are blocked. Temporary visas, internships, and training programs are severely limited. Employer challenges. U.S. employers must prove no American citizen can fill the role. The worker poses no security risk. The job is essential. Most employers decide it's not worth the effort. 2026 Outlook for Myanmar. In 2026, U.S. employment access is extremely restricted. Long-term planning is unreliable. Approval chances are very low. Myanmar citizens must explore jobs in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, consider remote work, build local or regional careers. Success now depends on adaptability, not U.S. access. Would you move to a different country permanently if the U.S. became impossible? Tell me in the comments. Now, Let's talk about the most restricted country on this list. Number 1, Pakistan. Pakistan sits at number 1. And under Trump's 2026 policies, Pakistani workers may face the strictest U.S. employment barriers of all Asian countries. Reason 1, national security concerns. The U.S. government views certain regional activities linked to Pakistan as security risks. As a result, visa scrutiny is extreme. Background checks are extensive. Processing times are unpredictable. This affects every category of worker. Employment-based visas hit hardest Pakistani professionals in healthcare, engineering, technical fields, experience, multiple rounds of interviews, endless document requests, high rejection rates, even applicants with strong resumes, international experience, U.S. job offers are frequently denied. Employer sponsorship decline. U.S. companies now hesitate to sponsor Pakistani workers because approval is uncertain. Compliance costs are high. Audits are frequent. Many employers simply avoid applications altogether. Students and families affected. Pakistani students once relied on training programs, OPT pathways, employment sponsorship. Now, these options are shrinking rapidly. Families planning relocation face visa denials, financial uncertainty, career disruption, temporary and training programs, restricted internships, trainee visas, and short-term programs are also limited. This removes early career opportunities that once helped professionals gain U.S. experience. 2026 Outlook for Pakistan. In 2026, Pakistan is the most restricted Asian country for U.S. work. Long-term access is extremely unlikely. Policies show no sign of easing. Pakistani citizens must explore Gulf countries like UAE and Saudi Arabia, consider Malaysia or Europe, focus on remote work, build entrepreneurship and freelance income. Final analysis: what this means for global workers. Across all 7 countries, one message is clear. The U.S. is no longer the guaranteed destination it once was. Trump's policies prioritize national security, domestic employment, political alignment. Talent alone is no longer enough, the new reality of global work. In 2026, work visas are harder to get, processing takes longer, rejections are more common. Workers must adapt smart alternatives to U.S. employment. If the U.S. is blocked, consider remote jobs with global companies, regional labor markets, freelancing platforms. Entrepreneurship skills that travel globally include tech, digital marketing, finance, design, data analysis, long-term career strategy. To survive these changes, build internationally recognized skills, earn global certifications, improve language proficiency, network digitally, diversify income streams. Flexibility is the new advantage. If this video helped you understand the real future of global work, like this video, subscribe to The Explorer. Now turn on notifications. We post deep analysis that protects your future. Comment below. Which country surprised you the most? Do you think U.S. work visas will ever return to normal? Thank you for watching The Explorer Now. I'm Zinnia, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay informed, stay flexible, and keep exploring.